Living in your dream body is absolutely possible, and you don't need more discipline, you just need a new identity. The truth is, there's absolutely nothing stopping you from losing weight, building muscle, and changing the way that your body looks. It's not that you have some kind of special bloating or gut imbalance and need to balance your hormones, reduce your cortisol, and change all these different things about your lifestyle. Yes, each of us has different metabolism, and so it'll be easier for some of us to build muscle than others, and easier for some of us to release fat than others. But once you actually do the right things, your body must obey. And therefore, if you're not seeing the result that you want over enough period of time, as in you're being patient with it, then something needs to shift, and that's exactly what we're going to get into in this video. And I understand this completely. I literally had a crash out last night because you feel like you're doing absolutely everything right, and you're trying so hard and you're doing so much, and yet you're not seeing the progress that you want or as quickly as you would like. And it feels very frustrating, it's very demotivating. But the problem really isn't the effort that you're putting in. You're missing something that's very essential in order to change your behaviors for good and see long-term sustainable change with the way that your body appears. The truth is that if you are actually aligned with the habits and action that you need to do to look a certain way, or of the habits that create that dream body that you want, then you would look like that, you would have that. And if that's not happening, that's something that you need to be very honest about if you want to see that change. At the start of this year, I was at a weight that made me very uncomfortable. I went on a solo trip late last year, and then I had all the Christmas indulgence. And on January 3rd, when I went to the gym on Monday, I was 15 to 20 pounds heavier than I was 2 months ago. And I was shocked and disappointed and overwhelmed and annoyed at myself also, because I had started the gym a few months before and I felt like all of the progress that I had made had just gone just like that. And I felt I didn't even want to continue at the gym because I didn't even want to be seen outside. And I just felt really uncomfortable and really disappointed in myself for letting myself get to that point. And sticking with the habits and the action steps that I realized I needed to do and change in a sustainable way, I've lost 28, 29 pounds so far since that January 3rd weigh in. And even up to yesterday, I felt like I'm doing everything right again and nothing is happening. I mean, I do honestly think that that was just like a little bloops. But I just want you to know that even as you get through your journey, there will be things you have to learn and unlearn, and it will get easier, but it will also stay just as difficult in terms of your mindset, which is really what the crux of this video is about. And yes, I may feel like I was doing all the right things, but I haven't been doing my cardio. I don't know that I'm being as intense in my strength workouts as I need to be, and then I definitely wasn't sticking to the way that I tend to have started to eat in order to get the results that I wanted. And therefore your body's going to show that, you're going to feel that, and you pick it up and then you get back on track. And we romanticize having this dream Instagram body that we see online on Pinterest, and we think that it doesn't take work to get there. But the truth is that if it was easy, everyone would have it. Getting that body takes work, and if you're not willing to do the work that it takes consistently, you're just not gonna get it. And a real block towards you going over that hurdle, going over any plateau that you're on, if you're on your journey already, or the courage to start and keep going and to feel confident in yourself that I can do this and I can achieve it, is your identity is stuck in the version of you emotionally and mentally aligned with that old perception of yourself, such as me on January 3rd, where I was just swirling in all those negative emotions and looking at my mirror, criticizing myself, feeling unsure, feeling ashamed, all of those things. And if you haven't started your journey at all, then your identity is just where it is, that I'm not someone who has started. I'm not someone who is capable of doing this and seeing it all the way through. And it's just a nice to have. It's something that's nice to think about. And I don't actually believe or really feel that I deserve it, and that if I work towards it, I can achieve it. Holding on to beliefs like I've never looked like that, so I probably never will. If I get super hot, people might treat me differently. My friends and strangers, I'm gonna get attention that I don't know if I know how to deal with. What if I succeed and then I can't maintain it and I lose it? Or what if it's hard and it's gonna be hard forever and I never get to have fun and relax and enjoy myself? These are all beliefs that we tend to have at the back of our mind that sabotage us from going all the way in and doing the things that we have to do on a consistent basis. Because allowing yourself to have that big, desirable dream that you want in any area of your life, not just fitness, that feels very uncomfortable because you are much more familiar with the struggle of wanting something and feeling like a victim almost, that it's easy for that person but it's hard for me, or I'll never get that, or I only know how to be the person who's trying and fighting up rather than the person who is getting what she wants. That identity feels very safe and familiar and comfortable. And in order to shift into the version of yourself that has the body that you want, you have to adopt the identity of that version of yourself who gets the things that you want, whose identity is of the habits, the mindsets, and the action steps that it takes to have that dream, perfect, beautiful body. Subconsciously staying stuck is a lot safer and a lot easier than the unknown of seeing how far you can go and believing in yourself and working hard and being uncomfortable a lot of times in order to get to where you want to go. And when your identity hasn't caught up, then there's going to be a lot of conflict. Until you update your internal story, your body is not going to change all the way that you want it to, because you are not going to give everything that is required to get there also. So this is the framework that I need you to use in order to change your identity. And before we touch on that, I just want to very briefly, if you are someone who also feels like I don't actually know what I have to do in order to get there, the truth is you do know on a strategic level what are the different things that you need to do in order to get to the body that you want, whether that is losing fat or building muscle or doing both at the same time. There's diet, there's exercise, and there's recovery. For your diet, you need to be eating whole foods. You need to ensure that you're getting enough protein, fats, and carbs in the right order. If you don't want to track your food, fine, that is, I understand. But eating intuitively, as all the girlies say online, that is not going to get you anything differently than what you have right now, because you're eating intuitively right now, which is anytime you feel hungry or you feel for a snack or you feel bored, you think you have to eat, and you think that every single meal has to be like this fun occasion that you're looking forward to during the day, and every meal has to taste like super good, and you don't know how to deny yourself or anything like that. Eating intuitively right now with your intuition that you have right now is the body that you have right now. And so in order to get to a different place, you can't trust this current intuition, and you have to have some structure around what you're eating. We can get into how to do that in a way without really limiting yourself or getting into even disordered eating, but that's like a whole separate thing to discuss. So changing the way that you eat, you need to be cooking at home and focusing on the right portions of the food and eating whole foods, and schedule your 20% of the 80-20 around your social commitments so that you're not choosing at home to have these things that you know are not part of your plan, and then also when you go out with your friends, you're doing it again, so it's not 20% anymore. Next is movement and exercise. You need to push yourself, because if your body is not getting, hey, I need to release fat or build muscle in order to deal with the stress and the of the workouts that's required, and I need to get better in order to be able to handle this good stress on my muscles, and next time then your body's just going to stay the same because your biology doesn't want you to lose fat or anything like that because it just wants to survive and be comfortable. So you have to do exercise that is challenging for you in order to see muscle grow and fat to be lost. You need to do cardio and strength training. You can decide how that's going to go, what portion of what, depending on what your goals are. But you need to be pushing yourself in both of them. Get your steps in, walk after you digest your foods, put your steps up into little chunks throughout the day. Push yourself while you're doing your strength training and do some other form of cardio as well. That's it. Recovery, you need sleep, you need to rest. Whatever you decide your workout split is, you can't be working out 7 days a week because it means you're not pushing enough in each of those workouts to make that change, or you're just stressing out your body without putting it under the right tension. So you need recovery, you need sleep, and you also need to take care of your mind, mentally resting, spiritually resting, so that your body doesn't feel totally like unsafe and you have a lot less stress, that you can put energy towards this goal. And it's just about being happy and living your life because your dream body is part of your dream life, and therefore working towards your mental well-being at the same time is fundamental. I also want you to be using objective measurements, whether that is tracking your waist and hip ratio, you're going on the scale like at the same time once a week or every day, tracking your protein. You get to decide in what ways you're going to be objective. Maybe you can 3 of them, maybe you can pick one, etc. Taking progress pictures, but you need some objective evidence to keep you grounded throughout your journey. And now we're going to talk about changing your identity, which is the major component that's going to make a really big difference and get you to where you want to go. You need to decide what you want to look like and why. If you don't really want to look a particular way and you have a strong reason as to why, then you're always going to be one foot in, one foot out, because this is not easy. It takes work, it takes time, it takes patience. And I'm saying this from my experience too, because I am not where I want to be, and I still feel frustrated often at how long it takes or how much work is required. But the thing is, I'm not willing to let go of that vision of myself that I really want. I wish I could be satisfied as I am right now and I could just rock back, but that's not the case. So you need to decide what you want to look like and have a strong why. And then ask yourself, do I really believe that I can look this way? What scares me about actually getting there? What will it mean if I have nothing to complain about anymore? What does it look like to take full responsibility for the way that I look and feel? And will people in my life judge me? And is that something that I'm afraid of? And then I want you to start, based on those answers, reframing and giving yourself new thoughts, ideally in the form of affirmations, which is what I do. I say affirmations every morning like, I deserve to live in my dream body. My body easily releases any excess fat and toxins and builds muscle. It is easy to be consistent and choose the habits that are right for me. I enjoy working out and pushing my body. I love making healthy choices that fuel my body. These are the kinds of things that I say, and I just say it once on a morning, and not every morning, but it means that in the moments during the day when I'm starting to have those negative spirals, I have thoughts that I can call on and replace, and it starts shifting your identity overall. You have to identify the version of you who looks that way, what are the habits and the thoughts that they have, and you need to start taking those identity aligned actions every single day. And the most important thing is that you need to track your wins and your progress through the lens of this identity and not just the outcome. So that's why I said it's important to have objective measures, but also focus on, based on this new identity that I am adopting, how am I measuring up? So in summary, which is something that I love to do when I'm talking with my friends, I say, okay, well, in summary, da 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 da. You don't need a new plan, you really just need a new identity. You need to start showing up as the version of you who already is that. Who that is my body, that is what I look like, and this is just what I do. These are my habits, this is my workout routine, this is what I eat, and this is what I don't eat. And adopt that and really feel it, believe it, live it. I know that it's hard, I know it's frustrating, and I honestly wish it were easier too. And flour tastes so good. It does. But the truth is that it is possible and it is worth it because you, my love, absolutely always deserves anything that you want, and you deserve your best effort to anything that you decide that you want. And I just want you to know also that you are not alone in this. There is a whole community of people behind you who also want the best for themselves, who want to live in their ideal perfect body. And as they want that for themselves, they want it for you too. And I want it for you. I want it for me. I want it for you. You've got this. Take it easy, but not too easy. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.